Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The latest twists in the Bold and the Beautiful are setting the stage for another dramatic shakeup at Forrester Creations. And this time, the future of the legendary fashion house may rest on the shoulders of Brooke Logan Forrester. As tensions continue to rise and unexpected alliances reshape the fashion battlefield, the company finds itself facing one of its most uncertain moments in recent memory. Hope Logan Spencer's departure has left behind far more than an emotional void. It has created a massive business crisis that no one at Forrester Creations can afford to ignore. The excitement surrounding Eric Forrester's triumphant return to couture was supposed to launch the company into a bold new era, but now that momentum is suddenly slipping away. What once looked like the beginning of a spectacular comeback is quickly becoming a desperate fight for survival. For months, the Forrester family had carefully mapped out their strategy, believing that Hope for the Future would serve as the perfect follow-up to Eric's highly anticipated couture collection. The two projects were expected to complement one another, creating a wave of excitement that would keep customers invested long after Eric's stunning return to the runway. Everyone involved believed they had found the perfect formula for success, and countless resources were poured into making that vision a reality. But everything changed the moment Hope stepped away, leaving the company scrambling to fill a void that suddenly seems impossible to replace. Instead of celebrating a seamless transition into the next major fashion event, the Forresters are now forced to confront the harsh reality that their carefully constructed plans have completely unraveled. Adding even more pressure to an already fragile situation is the unexpected rise of Katie Logan Spencer and her growing partnership with Hope. Rather than allowing Forrester Creations to dominate the fashion conversation, Katie has stepped forward to help launch Hope by Logan, creating an entirely new source of excitement that threatens to steal every headline. The buzz surrounding their fashion show has spread rapidly, capturing the industry's attention at precisely the wrong time for the Forresters. While they expected the spotlight to remain firmly fixed on Eric's celebrated return, the conversation has shifted toward Katie and Hope's exciting new venture instead. That unexpected success leaves the Forrester family watching from the sidelines as another fashion house enjoys the momentum they had hoped would belong to them. Even if someone within the company attempts to revive Hope for the Future without Hope herself, everyone understands the enormous challenge that lies ahead. The brand has always been closely tied to Hope's identity, her vision, and the loyal audience that followed her every move. Removing the woman whose name and reputation helped build the label would make convincing customers to embrace its future incredibly difficult. While relaunching the line remains technically possible, selling that dream without Hope standing behind it would require nothing short of a miracle. Before long, the Forrester family may have no choice but to admit that they need to abandon their original strategy entirely and search for a completely different direction that can restore confidence in the company's future. The financial pressure only makes the situation even more alarming. Carter Walton previously revealed that Forrester Creations invested an enormous amount of money into Eric Forrester's spectacular couture comeback, believing those expenses would be justified by overwhelming sales and renewed excitement throughout the fashion world. Yet, business doesn't always follow expectations, especially when fierce competition suddenly changes the narrative. Katie and Hope managed to capture enormous attention with their own headline-making fashion event first, creating the kind of buzz that naturally draws customers, media coverage, and industry praise away from Forrester Creations. As that excitement continues to grow, the Forresters may discover that Eric's collection isn't producing the financial return they confidently expected. With expenses climbing, sales potentially falling short, and no immediate follow-up collection ready to keep customers engaged, the company's financial outlook could quickly become much more troubling than anyone anticipated. As uncertainty spreads throughout Forrester Creations, difficult conversations are almost certain to unfold behind closed doors. Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Ridge Forrester, and the rest of the leadership team will likely gather for intense brainstorming sessions, desperately searching for the breakthrough that can pull the company back from the edge. Every possibility will have to be considered as they weigh new campaigns, fresh collections, and bold marketing strategies capable of recapturing public attention. The pressure surrounding every decision will be immense, because the future of one of the fashion world's most recognizable brands may depend on finding the right answer before it's too late. Every passing day raises the stakes, making the search for a game-changing idea more urgent than ever before. That desperate search could ultimately lead them to one person whose name still carries extraordinary influence throughout the fashion industry: Brooke Logan Forrester. Over the years, Brooke has proven time and again that she possesses the charisma, elegance, and star power needed to command attention wherever she goes. Her reputation remains one of Forrester Creations' greatest assets, and when the company has needed a powerful public face in the past, Brooke has repeatedly risen to the occasion. With the fashion house searching for a lifeline, it would not be surprising if everyone suddenly turned to Brooke in hopes that she could become the centerpiece of their next major success. At a moment when confidence is fading and uncertainty dominates every discussion, Brooke's return to center stage could provide exactly the spark the company desperately needs. One exciting possibility would be the long-awaited return of Brooke's Bedroom, a brand that has repeatedly demonstrated its remarkable ability to generate excitement and impressive profits whenever it makes a comeback. Time after time, audiences have embraced the glamorous campaign, transforming it into one of Forrester Creations' most reliable financial successes. Reviving that iconic brand could instantly shift attention back toward the company, while reminding the fashion world why Brooke has remained such an unforgettable symbol of elegance and confidence. Of course, another path remains equally possible. Instead of bringing back Brooke's Bedroom, the company could place Brooke at the heart of an entirely new campaign, allowing her to introduce a fresh vision capable of captivating audiences all over again. Either direction would place Brooke firmly in the spotlight and give Forrester Creations a valuable opportunity to reclaim the public attention that has recently drifted toward Katie's rising fashion empire. Such a dramatic turnaround would do far more than strengthen the company financially. It would ignite an already simmering personal rivalry between two sisters whose relationship continues to grow increasingly complicated. Katie may be celebrating the overwhelming success of Hope's fashion show and the flood of positive publicity surrounding Hope by Logan, believing she has finally stepped into a position of influence within the fashion world. The excitement, recognition, and praise could leave her feeling as though nothing can diminish her victory. But that confidence may prove short-lived if Brooke suddenly launches an even bigger project that captures every headline and overshadows everything Katie and Hope have worked so hard to achieve. Watching Brooke reclaim the spotlight just as Katie begins enjoying her own success could stir up powerful feelings of jealousy, resentment, and frustration that neither sister will be able to hide for very long. Those emotional cracks are expected to widen as the weeks unfold, transforming simple disagreements into explosive confrontations that could permanently reshape the Logan family dynamic. Every success Brooke achieves may become another painful reminder to Katie that the spotlight has once again shifted away from her. Likewise, every new achievement Katie celebrates may fuel Brooke's determination to prove that she still belongs at the very top of the fashion industry. Their growing hostility promises to spill into every corner of their professional and personal lives, creating dramatic clashes fueled by pride, ambition, and years of unresolved emotions. With Forrester Creations fighting for its future, family loyalties being tested, and powerful rivalries reaching a dangerous boiling point, the Bold and the Beautiful appears ready to deliver an unforgettable series of emotional battles, shocking confrontations, and game-changing surprises that viewers won't want to miss. Because the second Brooke enters the equation, everything changes. Throughout the history of Forrester Creations, Brooke Logan Forrester has repeatedly demonstrated an extraordinary ability to command public attention almost effortlessly. Her beauty, charisma, and deep connection to the company's legacy have consistently made her one of the most marketable figures associated with the Forrester brand. She understands the fashion industry not simply as a business, but as a world built around image, storytelling, and emotional connection with consumers. That means if the company decides to push Brooke back into the spotlight, the media response could be immediate and overwhelming. Suddenly, all the glowing headlines currently celebrating Katie and Hope could begin shifting toward whatever new project Brooke becomes attached to. And in the brutal world of fashion, attention is everything, sometimes more valuable than the product itself. If executives decide the safest route forward is relaunching Brooke's bedroom, the effect could be explosive. That brand has a long history of commercial success and carries an almost legendary reputation among loyal customers familiar with its past popularity. A return of Brooke's iconic line would instantly trigger waves of nostalgia, while simultaneously attracting newer audiences curious about the revived campaign. The media would rush to cover it. Fashion insiders would begin speculating about the relaunch, and consumers would immediately turn their attention toward Forrester creations once again. For the company, it would represent more than simply generating revenue. It would be a strategic counterattack designed specifically to seize back control of the public conversation after Katie and Hope unexpectedly stole it. But for Katie personally, it could feel like a devastating emotional betrayal disguised as business strategy. At first, Katie may attempt to hide how deeply the situation affects her. On the surface, she might continue celebrating the early success of Hope by Logan, smiling for interviews and embracing the positive media attention currently surrounding the new venture. But privately, those feelings could begin changing the moment she notices headlines shifting toward Brooke's latest campaign. After working so hard to help Hope build something independent and exciting, watching Brooke suddenly overshadow all of it may trigger a wave of frustration too powerful to ignore. Old sibling dynamics would immediately come rushing back, reopening emotional wounds that have never fully healed between the Logan sisters. Katie has spent years living in a world where Brooke somehow always manages to become the center of attention, intentionally or not. And seeing history repeat itself now, just when Katie believed she had finally carved out her own moment, may prove unbearable. For Brooke herself, the situation may carry emotional complications of its own. On one hand, stepping forward to help save Forrester Creations would feel like a natural decision, especially considering her deep loyalty to the company and the family legacy she has spent so many years protecting. She understands how much this business means not only to Ridge and Eric, but to generations of people whose lives have become tied to its success. If the company needs her, Brooke would likely feel obligated to act without hesitation. But on the other hand, she would know exactly how her involvement could impact Katie. She would understand that any successful campaign centered around her own image might unintentionally destroy the momentum Katie and Hope have fought so hard to build. That emotional conflict creates an impossible situation where doing the right thing professionally may come at a devastating personal cost. And unfortunately, history suggests the Logan sisters are no strangers to emotional warfare. Beneath years of family loyalty lies a complicated relationship shaped by jealousy, competition, misunderstandings, and painful betrayals that have never truly disappeared. They have supported one another during difficult times, but beneath that support, there has often existed an unspoken rivalry, particularly whenever one sister feels overshadowed by the other. Fashion, success, and public admiration have a dangerous way of amplifying those insecurities. Katie may begin seeing Brooke not as a sister helping save a struggling company, but as someone once again stepping into the spotlight and taking something she fought hard to earn. The emotional resentment building beneath the surface could quickly become impossible to contain, and once those feelings finally erupt, the damage may extend far beyond business competition. As the days unfold, what began as a simple business problem may transform into one of the most emotionally charged family battles seen in recent memory. Every decision made inside Forrester Creations now carries consequences extending beyond corporate survival. Choosing Brooke as the face of the company's recovery effort could restore public confidence and protect the family business. But it may simultaneously ignite a war with Katie that tears apart family relationships already hanging by fragile threads. Meanwhile, Katie's growing resentment could intensify her determination to ensure Hope by Logan succeeds even more dramatically, turning what began as friendly competition into an all-out fashion war between two powerful sides determined to dominate the spotlight. The emotional stakes continue climbing higher with every passing day, and neither side appears willing to surrender. And that is precisely where the danger truly begins. Because according to everything now unfolding, the hostility brewing between Katie Logan Spencer and Brooke Logan Forrester is preparing to explode in ways far more intense than anyone expected. Sharp words could soon evolve into bitter accusations. Professional competition could transform into deeply personal attacks, fueled by years of buried resentment finally rising to the surface. Every success Brooke achieves may deepen Katie's anger, while every victory Katie claims may intensify the already fragile tensions dividing the family. What began as a battle for fashion industry dominance is slowly becoming something far more dangerous, a deeply emotional collision between sisters whose complicated history has been quietly building toward this moment for years. And as this rivalry reaches its boiling point, one thing has become crystal clear. The future of Forrester Creations, the Logan family bond, and perhaps multiple relationships surrounding them are all standing dangerously close to complete upheaval. The storm has only just begun, and when it finally breaks, no one involved will escape unchanged.